Was Renee Good, what was she trying to accomplish by going to the ICE protest and blocking arrests with her car? Where did she get that from, this thing that got her shot and killed? Well, it turns out she was using the skills that she was taught through the Minnesota Ice Watch group, which she was a member. Now, some materials from this group have been discovered online. It turns out that they train people to resist ICE, not by being peaceful protesters, not by speaking to their elected representatives. Oh no, instead by blocking ICE agents with their bodies, getting detainees out of the car if they can. So if you see someone arrest, go and try and open that door, physically confronting ICE agents. Here's some of their training materials that was published on Instagram. Says that if you're getting arrested, you can shake it off. You just shake it off. Hey, criminals, why haven't you thought of this? Just use Taylor Swift's Shake It Off.
It's on your permanent record.
You should have just done that.
It's on your permanent record now, but just shake it off.
Just shake it off. Get out of there. You can just shake them off.
You can just do it. Cops grab you and be like, no, thank you. And they're like, oh, damn it. Cops hate this one trick.
Right. Like, have you seen those Instagrams where they're like, if you're in handcuffs, you do this thing or whatever? It's like, no, you just, like a dog, you just shake it. Okay. Why haven't criminals thought of this all along? Now, that said, if one of your co-instigators is getting arrested, they say that you should lower your center of gravity and like pound on the fists. That's also okay. This is like Maoist China, deputizing citizens and encouraging anarchy. But who is it that they're really recruiting to do this? Is it like this, the Linda Hamilton types, moms fighting extinction level threats, doing pull-ups every single day on their bed frame? No, it's not. Hardly. They're looking at bored housewives who have nothing else to do while their kids are in school. Now, think about it. They are the perfect mark, and I know because I have been here before. I don't want to speak like I'm above it. They are more likely to be privileged because they have working husbands. They are educated, but they don't actually work in the field that they're educated in, so they're kind of bored and listless. They're highly idealistic. Most of the time they spend is with children. And so children don't respond to their rhetoric, right? They don't challenge them. They're pumped full of social justice, social media, and they probably train by walking around with those weighted vests in their gated community. They take collagen and creatine. You know this archetype, right? I myself have found myself in this situation while the kids are napping. You're highly educated. You're no longer contributing a salary to the family. You're pumped up by social media. You're told that raising your babies is not enough of a contribution to society. So you need to go advocate for someone with darker skin than you. This is a hard place to see your way through. You have to really study to get out of this and break your allegiance to your algorithm. There is actually a term for this. Have you heard this term? It's called Selma envy. It was coined by the American author Shelby Steele. It's the longing for a defining moral movement, like the 1965 Selma marches when justice was unmistakable and taking a stand carried real risk. It refers to the impulse to force modern conflicts into this rhetorical, historical framework and the need to cast oneself as a heroic resistor to claim the moral purpose and urgency. So you find this vacuum and you need to fill it, but this accomplishes very little. You're not saving anyone from arrest or meaningfully addressing the very real ICE abuses in this way. And a community of color, they're not really building trust or harmony with you, white ladies, with this kind of performative confrontation.
Well, it turns out every bit of clarity that you feel in your life actually begins at the mitochondrial level, the tiny power plants in your cells. And when they weaken, your thinking actually slows down, your energy drops, and even simple tasks feel altogether harder. This is why researchers are so interested in methylene blue. Doctors have used it for more than a century to treat malaria, blood poisoning, cyanide exposure. And in recent years, scientists have discovered something even more interesting about it. In small, controlled doses, methylene blue can actually support healthy mitochondrial energy production, especially in the brain. And Dr. Anna Yaroslavsky from the University of Massachusetts calls it a cellular reboot because it helps the brain produce cleaner, more efficient energy. In 2025, the hype gained traction, actually, and people now using methylene blue to support mental clarity, sharper thinking, healthy aging without relying on stimulants. But purity actually matters, and many products online are aquarium-grade blue dyes, unregulated powders that are not meant for human use. Many of them even come from China. Well, the wellness company's Recharge is in a league of its own, totally in a league of its own. It's a pharmaceutical-grade methylene blue. It's paired with PQQ and NAD, which is the ultimate brain hack hybrid. So get 10% off plus free shipping. Head over to twc.health/redacted and use the code redacted.
Now, I brought some clips that I find humorous to address this situation, but I'm only half joking. This kind of activism doesn't read as solidarity. It reads as self-indulgence. Too many working parents in Black and Latino communities, they're busy raising their families and surviving the real world. So to them, it looks less like justice and more like luxury performance that they don't have the time or patience for. Watch this comedian, Brian Torres Day, and his commentary on this.
Hey, white women, as a Latino, we appreciate your empathy, okay? We really do. But I'm telling you right now, if the shoe was on the other foot, Latinos are not getting between you and federally armed agents to save you, all right? Like, if ICE tomorrow starts deporting short-haired white women with septum piercings, you're on your own, all right? Like, you're never going to hear Jose like, hey, you put that woman down. You leave Nadine alone.
Nadine.
She has a cat and a one-bedroom apartment. You take her back to her yoga studio, fool.
Nadine. I love they chose Nadine as the
Right. Like, we appreciate it, but knock it off. Now, here is how this discussion has continued. I'm going to play a clip from one of my favorite YouTubers, Ty Rivera. His episode yesterday was about how Black women are now upset that white women are using the hashtag say her name because they're saying, oh, no, you were never allowed. This is for Black ladies only. This white lady died. You can't use this hashtag that was for us Blacks. Watch.
Case you haven't heard, the latest is some Black women are upset right now because people are using the say her name hashtag for Renee Good. And this is why I'm telling all white women to withdraw your support from all people of color except me. Which I say only half jokingly, but listen to this for a second.
Say her name is for Black women.
Okay, so let me get this straight. White women are supposed to use their privilege for good and basically turn themselves into human shields. They're supposed to join your marches. They're supposed to cut off their families. And then when they end up losing their lives in the line of duty, you're all going to be petty enough to not allow them to use the hashtag say her name. And this is why I tell white women to sit it out. Because I also saw a video where a woman was saying that she felt guilty because of her white tears.
I mean, part of it is being like a white woman that I'm privileged and I have a lot of privilege. So I feel like white tears are not always something that's helpful or necessary when
White
Black
tears.
and brown people.
I'm so sorry, I'm crying in front of you.
For a long
I shouldn't be
time.
doing this.
Baby, I hate to break it to you, but white tears are the only ones that matter in this situation. If your support wasn't necessary, they wouldn't be asking for it all the time. They wouldn't be trying to guilt trip you into giving your support. And that's why I say that these women really need to cut off this toxic relationship they have with certain people of color. It's really not working out in your favor. And at the end of the day, they don't even respect you for your effort.
Okay, so white women have done what they were told by the DEI police. They risked their lives for minorities that they don't know, and now some communities are saying, oh no, but your death is not as tragic as minority deaths. So what is this? Now, in my opinion, this is misguided and dangerous moral cosplay. Is exactly what it is. It's about manufacturing risk to feel morally alive because you're otherwise bored for communities you are not a part of and probably don't even understand. Absolutely, ICE is guilty of power and abuse right now. Those claims definitely deserve investigation, oversight, and lawful challenge, but a white progressive soccer mom army practicing street-level anarchy is not the answer, and they should have the humility to admit as much. Now, history shows us where this path leads. Mao's student brigades were not justice movements. They were instruments of chaos fueled by moral confusion. Did we not learn from this? What we're seeing here is not resistance, but it's frustration, misguided energy that most likely could be channeled into something constructive, instead being spent play acting revolution for strangers, and people are paying the real price. So let me know what you think of this. And if you are a soccer mom who feels like, no, I need to be doing this, I need to understand why. So let us know.
We saw a lot of this when we lived in New Jersey. Like there were a lot of like these moms who they didn't work. They were kind of home all day with their kids, is your point. And they're like, you know what? I'm just going to go to this feminist rally in Washington, D.C. You guys all with me?
Right.
Like, okay, you have nothing better to do. You're going to go down to Washington.
I need to register my voice as a strong woman, right? Because otherwise diaper changing is not that's not who I am as a nursing diaper changing mom. Like I'm more than this. I'm frustrated. I'm going to go. And I understand that. And you should have the freedom to express yourself. You do not have the freedom to go and commit crimes and impede law enforcement. You just don't. That's just not how the law is written. And, you know, if it were your right, then I would say go and do it. But you do have to consider, if you are someone who runs a family, what is the cost that your family might pay? Have they decided that that's worth it? Probably they have, because a lot of these moms, make their kids extremists. They sit at the kitchen table and they tell them, like, if mommy doesn't do this, Black people will not be free. And the kids are like, okay, well, then you're going to, right? But can kids really give their consent to you risking your lives for deporting what in many cases, I think it was reported that some of the criminal prosecution that Renee Good was impeding was for a sexual predator. So do your kids like, yes, you better go get that sexual predator out of jail. We all agree that you might die, but you got to do it, right? Who gives consent for this? What are the costs when you become a mother? These are important conversations that you should have with humility, but I don't think that that's being pushed to them in their social media algorithms.